Hello everyone, Treecks here and welcome to my next small little weekend project. Welcome to the Europe exclusive game Asterix. The peace and the serenity of the indomitable Gaul's village has been disrupted by a disturbing piece of news. Obelix has been captured by a Roman patrol and at this very moment is being taken to an unknown destination. The village council has gathered and decided that you, Asterix, must set off to find Obelix before Caesar throws him to the lions. Poor things. Let's not try pronouncing that name. Vital Statistics. Stupid Gaul names. But yeah, that is going to be the story for this game. As you may be aware, Asterix is actually after a famous French comic. Very known in Europe. A little bit less outside of it. That's the reason why this is a Europe exclusive game. Infogrames actually created a video game out of the famous French comic book series Asterix and Obelix about a Gaul village in the Roman era, in the time that the Romans actually conquered all of Europe. There was one village they could not conquer, and that is the village of Asterix and Obelix. Because of their druid, who actually created a very magical and powerful potion, the villagers are actually super powerful and the Romans can't conquer them. But they do still try to actually conquer the village, and that's basically where the story in the comic actually comes from. The Romans trying to conquer the one village they cannot conquer because of their magic potion, and still trying to find ways to get around that. And all of the adventures that Asterix and Obelix actually live through, those are actually told in the comics. But of course, because of this franchise becoming so popular at some point, it is more than just comics. There's also movies and video games. This actually being the only video game I have of this series. I might decide later on to actually buy a couple of others, but for now this is actually the only one on the SNES. A simple and short platformer by the name of Asterix, where Obelix, the strong and dumb muscle of the heroic duo, actually gets kidnapped while being asleep by the Romans, and Asterix on his own, the smart one of the two, needs to go on an adventure trying to find Obelix. Normally Asterix actually depends on Obelix's strength by a lot. He's actually the only person in the village who does not need a magic potion to become strong. The story is that he actually fell into the cauldron at some point, so now has a permanent effect. However, we need to do it alone. We can't use his powers throughout this game. There's only one option other than multiplayer option, and that is the difficulty setting. We can put it on easy for less enemies, we can put it on medium for a normal set of enemies, or we can put it on difficult for the maximum set of enemies. There's no extra stages in this game, so I'll just put it on difficult and let's get started playing Act 1-1. In Roman numbers, obviously. A platformer comes with controls, of course. Most of them pretty basic. We can press left and right in order to walk around. We can push down in order to crouch. We can use the B button to jump in this game. We can use the Y button to run around, that's our dash button. And combine the two, of course, if we press B while dashing, we jump higher. And of course, there's one other pretty important thing, namely our attack button. We can press A for that. As you can see, Asterix will make a little bit of a punching move. And this we can use to take out enemies, like this wild boar, for instance. These guys are supposed to be Obelix's favorite kind of food. And in this game, if we kill them, we can grab their meat in order to get an extra heart, as you can see. Our health is at the top of the screen, depicted as hearts. That's the number of times we are allowed to get hit before we die. We can collect coins in this game in order to score 1-ups. Very similar to Mario. 100 coins is 1 extra life. And here's our first Roman soldier enemy. These guys are actually extra interesting, because if we take these guys out, which we can just do by a simple attack, these guys aren't really that special. But still, whenever you kill a Roman, you can actually collect their helmet. Not really required, but it is a semi-collectible this game plays around with. At the end of the stage, you actually tally up the number of Roman helmets you've collected. Not that it does anything, but still, it's pretty fun to do. Let's move on through the trees, and here we can actually find our first magic cauldron. Remember how our Gaul village actually has magic potions in order to fend off the Roman conquerors? And this is actually the appearance of those cauldrons in this game. If we grab them, we actually become invincible for a moment. This is pretty much the Starman of this game, you might say. Invincible, nothing can touch us. But of course, temporary, it runs out. So that is the function of the magic potion in this game. Okay, that gave us a sickle, that's actually worth 10 coins. Okay, this was a switch block that actually formed those cloud platforms, or at least one of them. Sometimes if you hit one of the question mark blocks, you will hear a little bit of a jingle, indicating that something unlocked. Most of the time it's actually platforms that spawn. Okay, let's hurry up to the next room, because I can see time is running out. You only got 100 seconds per room, at least in the difficult version. In the next room the timer will reset actually. 150 seconds for this room. Our first appearance in the caves. And in this little hidden section through the wall we can actually find a new type of collectible. Some awesome looking Roman headgear, you might say. And those function as the 1-ups in this game. So make sure to pick them up. Okay, and that pretty much rounds up the introduction on how this game works. Now let's go start playing. Because obviously this is still 1-1. We're not done with the first level yet. Stages in this game can have multiple rooms, as you can see, but not always. Sometimes you can also find stages that actually only have one room. And every time you actually enter a new room, it functions as a checkpoint in this game. So there are definitely checkpoints in this game, although invisible. But every screen transition actually functions as a checkpoint as well. So keep that in mind. And more importantly, it also resets your counter. With that 1 second that I had remaining after the previous room, that is a pretty good thing. Okay, and that should be it. Yeah, that was Act 1-1. The moment an act is completed, the number of Roman helmets you've collected will get tallied up, in this case 2. And then you can continue to the next stage. Act 1-2. Welcome to the Stonehenge aesthetic. Interesting. New type of aesthetic. Oh, new type of item. In some of the question mark blocks you can actually find a bone, and then Asterix, who's actually the little puppy dog who belongs to Obelix. Also part of the hero set in the comics officially. He will start biting any Roman he can find. But it only works once, as you can see. The moment he captures a Roman, he will never let go anymore. But it does look funny. Not very practical, because we could just simply take out the Roman guy ourselves. Not very difficult to do, but still. It's a funny little extra cutscene, you might say. There is a lot of Romans in this stage, so if you're into helmet collecting at the end of the stage, this is definitely the first stage where you can do that to your heart's content. There's a lot of these cloud platforms here, a lot of endless pits. Oh, do be careful. Endless pits are death, of course. It's no different in this game. Okay, 100 coins collected and therefore extra life. As you can see, my words in the first stage weren't a joke. Okay, be careful with these guys. They can be unpredictable, but still, one hit is enough to take them out. I'm pretty sure there are supposed to be Romans in those tree stumps. However, they don't drop any helmets, so... But you do, so thank you. And another one. And if I realized there was a bone in there, I would have saved on killing that Roman. Sorry, Asterix. No Roman butt for you today. You already had one at the beginning of the stage. But okay, the stack of Roman helmets is as big as we are today. Very successful run throughout stage number 2. Let's move on to stage number 3. Also still have time to play that. We're only at 10 minutes after all, so... got plenty of time to play some more. Now we're back in the trees, it looks like. This stage is a little bit easier than the first one, because this one actually has a little bit less vertical scrolling. 2D platformers that have vertical scrolling alongside the horizontal progression, those usually make me a little bit paranoid for missing a lot of things. So for some reason I always like it a little bit more if there's actually no vertical scroll. You can actually see everything that is present in the stage immediately on screen. Oh, apparently there was a red potion in there. Emphasis on the red potion. I've been calling it magic potion so far, but there are actually multiple colors when it comes to the magic potions. So far we've only seen a red one that actually gives invincibility. But there's actually another type of potion, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to see that until World 2. But I'll correct myself if we see them earlier. But for now I'll just assume we're not going to see them quite yet. Okay, these brambles we actually don't want to walk through. These are dangerous, they hurt you, so make use of these guys. As you can see, we can stand on them, so they're not just enemies, they're also platforms. Oh, I see a coin over there, in a suspicious location. And that usually tells you something. In this case, secret, in the wall. And it looks like there's nothing here, just a 1-up. Because I did see we actually gained a life, but nothing more. Okay, nothing too spectacular in here. I don't necessarily have to kill you guys, I'm already at full health. Okay, that was a switch block. I'm not sure what it did, but might be able to find something. Yeah, it probably spawned the cloud platform. Oh, and that was it already. Like I said, sometimes stages only have one screen. Not every single stage in this game is very big. There are a couple of very long stages in this game, if I remember correctly, but 1-3 is not one of them. Stage 1-4 is back in Stonehenge, as you can see. Let's go see what we need to do this time around. The cloud platforms in this game that actually don't move on their own are actually the kinds of platforms that actually fall the moment you step on them. As you can see. Death number 1. Needed to happen at some point. But I've already got my 1-up back again, so thank you. This time don't stay on these platforms for too long, because you can see what happens if you do. Oh, and as you can see, every time you respawn after dying, you respawn with 3 hearts. So no matter how many health you had, before you died, you always return to the stage with 3 hearts. And I'm pretty sure that is a difficulty thing, because I can't confirm it now, but I'm pretty sure in normal you actually respawn with 4 hearts, and on easy always with 5 hearts. On easy you actually spawn with full health. I'm pretty sure that is how it works when it comes to the difficulty. And I still want this block. Okay, never mind. Well, at least I didn't lose a life here. I gained 1 and immediately lost that again, so in the end I did not lose a life. But it would be more handy if I actually am able to collect that life without falling off. Then it would be even more beneficial. Okay, this is where you were. I can imagine they inputting an extra life in there. It's a pretty difficult block to hit. So don't be too far to the left. And I'm pretty sure you can hit this one through the slope. Yeah, you can. Remember that. Okay, you guys again. I am not impressed. Okay, I'm impressed. Did not expect the second one to be there. I'm pretty sure that guy actually only appears on the difficult mode. On easy and normal, that second tree stump guy wouldn't be there. But I'm still alive, so it does not matter to me. Oh yeah, and be careful whenever punching in the air. It's actually pretty difficult to time that, as you can see. It's pretty difficult to hit an enemy while you're in the air, falling, trying to land on an enemy with your punch move. And in the meantime, not get hit yourself. The timing on that is actually pretty strict. The hitbox for the punch move is not really that easy to master in this game, in all honesty. It is usually pretty doable while just being on the ground or standing still, but using the move in the air can be quite difficult sometimes. But that said, that was stage 1-4. In fact, it's only 15 minutes, so I think we even have time to finish off World 1 entirely. There's only one more stage to do, Act 1-5, which is going to be, like I said, the final stage in World 1. Not every single world in this game actually has 5 stages, there is a couple of exceptions. But usually you do find around 5 stages per world. I don't want to spend too much time in here, because unlike World 1, 2, 1, 3 and 1, 4, I'm pretty sure this is a longer one. This one actually consists out of multiple rooms, like Act 1-1 did. This one's also a little bit longer. And unlike 1-3, this one has vertical scrolling, and therefore exploring this place is a little bit more difficult as well. I'm pretty sure there is a secret in the wall somewhere around here. Allow me to check that quickly. No, here it is. It was still in the first room. And there's a 1-up down here. So it's definitely worth still coming down here. Good thing I found that, because I do like to show that off, of course. Now let's move on to room number 2. We're entering these rocks over here, and therefore it's not a surprise to find us back in the caves again. New type of platform we find here, these bubbles. Work pretty much the same as the cloud platforms do. You can step on them momentarily and then they will pop. Next new mechanic is the rope climbing. That speaks for itself. Be careful for spikes that rise from the floor or the walls. Can get surprising sometimes. And I'm pretty sure these actually also increase in number the moment difficulty increases. On easy and normal you will find less of these things. Okay, we should be nearing the end right now. I'm not too sure if you can kill these guys actually. No, you can't. Even from up front, these guys are indestructible, as you can see. These are a type of enemy you're going to want to avoid. Let's move on, because this should be it. Oh, momentum jump, come on. And there we go. That was World 1. And the moment a world is completed, we actually get greeted by one of our villagers, who will give us some intel about the upcoming world. The Romans are heading for Helvetia. Oh, Asterix, please find Obelix again. Panicia. Okay, and that was the beginning of Asterix. World 1 has been completed. Even though we have not reached 20 minutes yet, the stages were a lot shorter than I thought. I think I'll leave it with this. World 2 is coming up next time. However, I can give you a little bit of glimpse of what's waiting for us. A little bit of a cliffhanger. Helvetia is full of traps that you must avoid. Do not ignore certain creatures, such as the birds of prey. They could help you out in some very tricky situations. Next time, we're climbing the mountains, as you can see. Thanks for watching, part 1, and see you folks next time. Treecks out!